Now we will see how to perform a screening of preeclampsia with SsdwLab 6 as usual. First of all, we enter to the web program with our username and password. Once inside the program, several options are presented, and we chose the option Add New Patient. We can observe that a folder called Patient Folder appear on the screen, where we will enter the data of the patient, her surname, first name, CIC code and date of birth, used to calculate the age of the patient. In the section Other, we define the race of the patient, that in this case is Moroccan. We chose the option Patient Test. When we mark this option, what we do is that the data from this screening is not taken into account in quality controls, not involved in statistical data. Once completed this, we will save the patient, and we go to the next folder. The following folder is Pregnancy folder. Here we enter the weight of the patient. Unlike the aneuploidies screenings, in the preeclampsia screenings we should report the height of the patient, and which together with the weight enables the calculation of body mass index that is necessary to compute the risk of preeclampsia. We mark a single fetus pregnancy with over. The next folder is the screening folder. First we select the date of screening, then by default is the current date. In the center profile frame we choose the preeclampsia profile. We can see that when we select this profile, the appearance of the screen changes a little. Appear a frame with the dichotomous maternal markers, which allow us to add background information on preeclampsia and other factors that relate to this illness. We can note that has also appeared a frame called arterial tension, which must be filled with the date of the measurement, and the values of systolic and diastolic pressure in both arms. If we move to the following folder, we come to the blood test folder. In this folder, we must enter the date of sample collection, that in general is the same as the screening date, and the values of the Gaussian biochemical markers, which in this case are the pregnancy-associated plasma protein A and the placental growth factor. The following folder is the ultrasound. We define the date of ultrasound, and then we enter the value of the CRL that is used to calculate gestational age. We also fill the box called uterine artery Doppler, with both right and left pulse fertility index. We can see that the mean and the MOM are automatically calculated. And finally we come to the last folder, the risk folder. We can observe at the top of the folder the information about the Gaussian markers involved in this profile, their values and their respective MOMs. In the middle left section we find the correction factors. In the central box, the dichotomous maternal markers. In the middle right we find the estimated risks, the basal risk of early and late preeclampsia, and the risks of early preeclampsia and late preeclampsia. The risks are represented by color bars, when the risk is high in red, when the risk is low in green, and the basal risk is always displayed in yellow. In the bottom left, there is a frame with information about the gestational age. At the middle bottom there is a box where we can add comments about the screening that will appear in the report. And in the bottom right we see a box called Diagnosis, which once confirmed or discard the preeclampsia, can be filled, and the results will help improve quality controls. On the left side of the screen there is a summary of all aspects of the screening: center, profile, gestational age, risks, Gaussian markers, correction factors, dichotomous markers, etc. Highlights the presence of two buttons. The Validate button that allows validating the screening once it is completed, and the Report button that generates a report in PDF format with the estimated risks. And following these few steps, we have performed a screening of preeclampsia in the first trimester of the pregnancy.